Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of AFR's Market Pulse. And today is Friday. It's pretty late in the day. It's August 23rd, and we're sending this out. We've been slacking, or I've been slacking a little bit in getting these out, but I want to make sure we sent one out going into the weekend because there's a lot of positive momentum in the mortgage space. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about components of pricing, and I wanted to kind of just talk about what's going on in the market, what's happening in terms of rate sheets and note rates, not just this kind of macro look of rates moving down, but what is happening to pricing, what is happening to mortgage servicing rights and those values, and then some decisions for the brokers and loan officers out there that they're going to have to make when working with lenders. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it, folks. Let's go ahead and get this. So, first and foremost, we want to say a big shout out and a thank you to our friends at NBS Live. Last week, we had a webinar for the Arrive LOS platform, and I got to spend some time with Matthew Graham, someone I've been following and listening to for a long time, and I love their platform, and we wanted to make sure that we put it out there to the broker world. We get nothing from this. We just wanted to put it out because it's a great value and great information. I use it. I use Matthew Graham's insights, the community itself to get information as well of what's going on, and NBS Live. So if you use promo code AFR, you get 2 months, the first 2 months free when you sign up for NBS Live. Again, it has all the tools. I have access to all the crazy stuff out there for trading and kind of checking values of MBS and what's going out in the markets. And I use NBS Live still on a day-to-day basis. I have it on my screen all the time. So tune in to that, and AFR Market Pulse utilizes it for its information as well. So a shout out there and a little plug for Matthew Graham and the team at NBS Live. All right, we're getting right into it. We're going to take a look at, you can see this. This is the 10-year chart. I put 3 months up there because I wanted you guys to kind of think back of where we were. This is just the end of May and June. This was just yesterday, just a moment ago. We were staring at a 10-year in the 440, 450 range, and and rates they're rough. They were rough at that time, and you kind of see the trend right now is our friend, as we've been talking about. And you can see right here was the big NFP miss, and that print that came in, you saw that big move down in interest rates, and then you saw a little bit of a retracement, and then you kind of see this steady flow down. And we know this week was a big one, and I think I saw about 7,250 posts, maybe more, on the jobs number miss and that revision. And this Wednesday we got news that we knew the NFP revision was coming, the annual revision. There were some whispers a couple of days prior that we were going to see maybe a million job print miss or a revision to the downside of 1 million jobs, which would be crazy. But we saw a little over 800,000. But really, for those of us in this world and talking to borrowers and kind of get a feel of the frontline economy, none of those employment numbers really made sense, did they? Like, we all felt it. We felt that something was off. And I know a significant amount of people out there were talking about it. A lot of the people in terms of economists out there and even people that are watching the markets, it just didn't feel right. Every month over month, we saw job growth and saw some numbers that just didn't seem right. And that gut instinct was correct. And we saw this huge revision, and you saw, to be honest, the 10-year didn't even move as much as we thought it should have. I think maybe the whisper number of that million kind of helped that 10-year move from that 395 range down to the 380s. And then maybe it was just at that point it kind of already been sold. But today was a good one. And kind of solidified our path. Again, I feel like there's some room to run with interest rates with the news that we got this week, and still sitting at a 10-year around 380 right now as we speak, and really with the feeling that we haven't touched the lows that we saw from that NFP print in that morning. I think we saw down to 369 on the 10-year that day, but still the trend is moving down. Jerome didn't ruin it today. Like, I think there was a lot of questions, and we thought potentially Jerome was going to get out there and speak and just do what Jerome usually does, which is ruin it. But he gave a great speech, kind of talked about, I think, some of the data points and some of the discussions around what they were going to do in July surprised a lot of us. So hearing that there's a potential and the rate cut was on the table for July, all but solidifies that it's going to be occurring in September. To what magnitude, we don't know. But we know, we know his quote, "The time has come for policy to adjust." Okay, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the pivot that we've been talking about. They've been indicating it, and now Jerome has come out and then Jackson Hole has delivered that in a speech. So we're going to expect to see September rate cut and potentially up to 50 basis points, but we'll see how the market reacts to this shift. We should see rates, again, that 10-year just kind of stubbornly sitting at that 380 mark. And what comes with that? We're going to see rates move, but we want to talk through a couple of things because there's some wacky things happening in the market right now. And not that it's tough to explain, but we wanted to make sure that when you're looking at these pricing and looking at some of the major engines that provide MBS pricing, you see coupon. A lot of times people don't know that coupon is not note rate. That is not note rate. Coupon is what's being delivered to the investor that's purchasing or investing into that security or bond. So when you see that 5.5 coupon, I wanted to kind of show so you have some correlation because not all coupons move at the same level. You'll see that when you look at your rate stacks, and you see that when you look at your MBS pricing, that there's a bunch of different coupons usually listed, and they might, one might be, 50 basis points better, and another one might be 20. So here I just want to do a real easy way to illustrate what happens on a conventional loan. This here is a 5.5. This isn't a current price, but I just put a price example from the other day. So here you have a 5.5 UMBS coupon that might be paying 100 spot 55, so 55 basis points. A lot of people don't know there's a G fee, a guarantee fee on every single conventional loan that if you're going to Fannie or Freddie, it's on there. It's on there when it's being delivered. And that G fee is not to price. A lot of people think of like fees as like a LLPA kind of pricing adjustment. These G fees are to rate. So you would add, and I'm using a round number of 0.5. It's really, I put an asterisk there without an explanation, but it's really like between 0.5 and 0.56 or so for the G fees. And then, so that gets added on to that coupon. And then you have that servicing fee of about a quarter. It's required to have at least a quarter. There's other ways to do this. And for the capital markets gurus, I know there's differences in here, but I'm just doing this to display a real easy way to show what happens when it comes to coupon down to note rate here. So if you look at that, and we know right now MSRs have a significant amount of value in the premiums that we're getting in loans. So that service fee would be given, let's just say, a 5x multiple, meaning that its life it's not going to be 5 years per se, but in terms of what the value is of that service is the service fee times 5, about $1.25 for that MSR. That would bring the total price for this loan at a 6.25 note rate at 101.80. Ginnie Mae is a little bit different. They don't have a G fee. They actually collect a G fee off the servicing every single month. So you see here this 5.5 coupon, you would add, say, 50 basis points of service fee at a 3 multiple, and then you would see that 5.5 would have a better correlation to a 6 note rate. You have to keep at least a quarter of servicing on Ginnie Mae, but you can go all the way up to 75 basis points of servicing as well, at least in Ginnie 2 securities. But that's where most of these loans are going. Anyway, so this is an illustration of showing what note rate correlates to the UMBS. So sometimes you might be looking at a 5.5 price differential, but if you're pricing your loan at 6.5 or 6.75, that's not going into the 5.5 coupon. That's going to go into a different coupon. It's going to go into the 6 coupon most likely. So if those loans those coupons are pricing differently, that's why you see the price discrepancy going forward. And this brings up a topic of servicing rights. Mortgage servicing rights are right now, it's going to be some choice. There's going to be significant choices that need to be made by the broker community and by loan officers everywhere. So just going to change my screen here and get back here to the forefront. I want to mention there's some bids out there. There's people that bid on these mortgage servicing rights, and a lot of them are putting value into getting the refinance later. So they might be paying up for that loan today to then get the refinance later. So it's a decision that loan officers, that broker shops and non-delegated correspondents have to make, who they want to work with. What's going to happen to that loan when rates move down? You may get a great price today for that loan when you sell it, but they are going to attack your borrower for that refinance because they're already putting in the value of what they're paying for today. So you have to choose your partners wisely. And when you make those choices and you get a price, there's always a cost for everything. So here at AFR, we look to, we're not looking to recapture and get that MSR and steal that client. What we're looking to do is provide the best price we possibly can and find those pockets of value for you. So our takeaways for today, obviously, who you partner with matters. Also, with all of the chaos that's happening in pricing and with rate movement, open up your rate stacks. The most important thing you can do for your clients is open up the stack, find the note rate that has the most value with that particular lender, and run with it. So thank you so much for watching the AFR Market Pulse today. Looking forward to doing this again next week. Take care.